Hi there, this is Sine with NitroBackup, and we'd like to thank you for your recent purchase. Whether you purchase NitroCloud Sync or NitroCloud Backup, we believe this is one of the easiest to use, most cost-effective ways to back up your files from your PC or Mac in an automated way. To help you with this, I'm going to run a quick video through here about how to download, install, and set up NitroBackup. So follow along and let's get started. First, visit the Downloads page and locate your version. If you're on a PC or a Mac, you're going to choose one of these. I am on a PC, so I'll choose this one. We're going to save this file to my local computer, and of course you can put it anywhere you want. I'm putting it in an area that I've designated for backup, but the important part is that you remember where you put it so that we can run it again in just a moment. While I'm waiting on this to finish, I'm going to go ahead and open my Windows Explorer and navigate to where I've just installed that, or just downloaded that. That was on my F drive, right there. So to begin installing it, we're just going to double click and say Run. All done. Now, the time it takes to install might vary a little bit on your computer. A lot is going to depend on your internet connection speed and your computer. The very next thing we need to do is to establish a connection between our PC and our LiveDrive account. LiveDrive is the technology that NitroCloud and NitroBackup's NitroCloud Sync technology uses. So I'm going to put my credentials in here. These are the ones that I used when I was setting it up. And click Sign In. Now, as long as your credentials are correct, it will sign in and establish a connection between the two. Now, depending on what version of NitroCloud's backup you chose, you can have 1, 3, 5, or unlimited computers. And doing so means that we need to be able to tell them apart. So you give each computer its own unique name so that in your backup you can see them divided out by computer. Now, if you just bought the single computer option, this doesn't matter. This can be any name. I'm simply going to choose Next, and now I'm going to tell LiveDrive, NitroCloud's backup, where to get the files, what files to back up. So I'm simply going to check mark the ones that I want: documents, pictures, music, videos. I'm not going to back up my desktop. I am going to back up my bookmarks, and I'm also going to add a few folders. Now, these are basic, and if you do everything the way Windows says to do it, all of your documents are going to be in here. I don't. I have multiple drives. I have multiple folders, so I am going to need to tell LiveDrive about that. So I do want to back up this folder. I do want to back up this folder, and one more, this folder. So I've chosen the folders that I want to add to this, and you can add as many of these as you want. Now, unfortunately, because these are secondary drives, I can't just choose this and say back it up, because it won't do an entire drive this way. It will do any level of folders and files that you choose, though. I'm going to show you in just a moment how to add to this, but this is pretty good to get us started. So I'm simply going to say Next, and you'll notice that it's letting me know that I can add to my backup in any way I want. I right-click while I'm in Explorer, and I can choose to back it up or to copy it to my briefcase. Briefcase is the technology term for NitroBackup's NitroCloud Sync function. The sync function works much like Dropbox. You have a dedicated area, and anything you put in there is visible and automatically updates every other PC that's tied to that. Because I have a briefcase account, I'm going to check mark this so that LiveDrive knows it's there. I need to choose where I want that LiveDrive file, that synchronized area to be. I'm going to need to give it a drive letter. I'm going to put it on my C drive, and I'm going to configure advanced options. If I add files to my briefcase online from another computer, do I want them automatically downloaded back to this computer? Now, this gets back to how we want to sync. I have a couple of choices. I can have my sync area be only online, and I can pull them down to my computer as I need them, or I can have a copy on my local computer as well as on the online system, and I can only pull down files that are 5 meg or less in size. So I have three options. I'm going to choose yes, all the files that are in my briefcase I want to also be on my local computer. Okay, it's all been installed. We've told it what to back up, and I now have access to my LiveDrive portal. Now the portal gives me a global area that I can access from any device, anywhere, any computer, and see all of the files that I've backed up. And I have to tell you, I've used this feature a number of times since installing this. Most recently, I was on a month-long trip. I was at a friend's house. I needed a file that I had on my backup, so I logged in through his computer, logged into my LiveDrive portal, and went and got that file, pulled it down, and was able to use it and keep going. So, again, huge benefit. I cannot say enough good about LiveDrive and the NitroBackup service. We can access our LiveDrive online by clicking here, and it will open our web portal here on my browser of choice, which happens to be Firefox. If your browser of choice is Safari or Internet Explorer, it'll open here. Now I'm already logged in because I came in through my LiveDrive portal. Okay, if you come here, if I were to have come from just the web browser, go to cnaylor.livedrive.com, I would have had to log in. Now because I'm already logged in, I can see my files, I can see everything I have backed up, and it's all right here. And remember, I told you it's about the computer. If I had multiple computers, they'd be listed here. So it's important that you name them in a meaningful way. So that's it. That's all we had to do to set it up. That's all we had to do to install it. The only other area that we would want to look at is our LiveDrive briefcase, which is our syncable area. I'm going to need to show you that in just a moment when it finishes the integrity check. The first time through, this will be very short for you because you won't have any files out there. I happen to have, quite a few gig, so I'm going to pause the video while this finishes. Okay, the integrity check has finished, and as you can see, I now have a new icon over here in my start bar. This is the LiveDrive status, and as you can tell, it's finished doing the integrity check, and it's trying to bring in all of the files that I have told it to bring in. So basically, there are an awful lot of files in here. When you first install it, it won't be like this for you, obviously, because I already had it installed and already had, a million files up there. We're dealing with that when I reinstalled it. But for you, this will have the number of files that you selected that will begin uploading. And that's it. LiveDrive sits right down here. It runs in the background. It doesn't affect what you're doing as you're doing it. You can continue your normal work, and every time a file in one of the folders you've selected is updated, LiveDrive is automatically going to pick it up and send it up to your LiveDrive portal. So I hope this installation video has helped. In the future, if you find a file or a new folder that you want to back up, I mentioned earlier that I would show you how to do this. Simply locate the file or folder that you want, touch it, right-click it, and then choose LiveDrive. Now I have two choices. Because I have NitroCloud Sync, I can copy this to my briefcase, and it will retain a copy there, and any computers that I connect to my LiveDrive account, my sync account, will also have automatic access to that updated file. Or I can back this folder up with my LiveDrive backup, and if I select this, then it will automatically add it to the queue and back it up at the next available opportunity. Now, LiveDrive has a couple of settings that you can change, things like how often will it check for updates, how often will it send that information up. I choose every 2 hours just to have it go out and scan. When you first begin, I would recommend letting it run and giving it time to put everything online. Now, depending on the number of files you have, that can take anywhere from a few days to a month. My 100 gig took a whole month to work, or to get online. Now, I was able to work normally while this was going on. It didn't slow me down. But it did take about a month for it to finish. So, Okay, I hope this has helped. Stay tuned for future videos. We'll cover some additional topics like accessing your data via the portal and downloading information off your LiveDrive account. So until next time, this is Sine signing off.